Welcome to our very first show on our very own channel, Oli TV. We're really excited and more than a little freaked out to bring you something we're calling Council in 10. For the record, I'm Kellie Purse-Brasett.
And I'm Susan Grisham. Kellie, what exactly is Council in 10?
Well, Council in 10 is our attempt to recap for you everything that happened at last night's City Council meeting in under 10 minutes. Think of it like Cliff Notes for Council.
Maybe you're busy and don't have time to watch a full City Council meeting, but would still like to have a general idea of what happened.
Maybe you'll use this show for like a menu, like taking a look at options that you might want to dig into a little deeper, deciding beforehand what pieces you might want to bite into.
But the bottom line is, we want to make it easier for you to know what's going on in the city.
How the show will work is that each week Susan will hit the big gold button, which will start our 10-minute countdown. Then we're off to the races. If something needs to go a little deeper on, we think the community needs to understand it a little better, we will do a little extra explanation about it in overtime. This gives us an extra 3 minutes to dig a little deeper into a particular item.
So Kellie, what happens if we don't get everything done in 10 minutes?
I have no clue. But I think we should avoid it.
Agreed. And now that the pressure is on, you want to go for it?
All right, let's do it. For this episode, before we get into talking about real meetings, we want to take a little time to talk to you about the structure and the format of a city council meeting because it can be a little bit confusing.
And we'll be talking about the main parts of a council meeting and what happens during those times.
All right, hit the button, Susan.
Okay, so we're going to go into the parts of a regular city council agenda. So at the beginning of the meeting are pretty standard things that happen. The mayor does roll call, we have announcements, and approval of agenda. After those things happen that set up the meeting, we go into special recognition. So special recognition is a time to honor community members, organizations, celebrate events to increase awareness of significant or important issues. This is also a time to present proclamations or awards.
And then comes public comment. That's when the community gets to have not a conversation, but gets to be heard from by the council. It's an opportunity to redress your government, for example. It's a limited public forum, so it can feel a little stilted because council is excited to hear from the community, but they can't interact. They can only listen. At the end of the council meeting, they'll make comments about what they've heard. Community members get 2 minutes to speak. And if we have a lot of comment and the 30 minutes that's been set aside for public comment goes over, we stop at 30 minutes, then there's another public comment time on the agenda at the end of other business.
So after public comment, we move on to the consent calendar. So items on the consent calendar are generally items of a routine nature that don't require much, if any, discussion. This allows council members to group those items together under one heading and decide on them at one time. And so consent calendar items include approval of minutes, interlocal agreements, resolutions, and ordinances. But items can be removed from the consent calendar for separate action or discussion. This enables an item to be considered and voted on separately if a discussion is needed, or if a council member needs to not vote because of a disqualifying conflict of interest.
And then occasionally there are times and situations and issues that require the council to gather public testimony. And so at this point in the agenda is where they would schedule a public hearing. Again, the community is invited to come and weigh in on a topic that for some reason, regulatory or some other issue, requires public testimony before it can be moved through the process. Unlike public comment, which the public hearings have testimony is 3 minutes long instead of 2 minutes long. And then at the end of a public meeting, if they've heard from everyone that has signed up, unlike public comment, council will open it to anyone in the room who might have something to testify or comment to make on that particular topic.
Once the public hearing concludes, we have other business. Items on other business allow staff to brief the council and update them on items they are working on that might not otherwise come before the city council, but are of interest regarding city operations, programs, or policies, and some other business items do require either a vote or decision.
And after other business, if there's not any more public comment, then the agenda moves into reports and referrals from the council. And this is the part of the agenda where council have interjurisdictional meetings, they have other kind of either events or issues that they're working on, and this is their opportunity to update their fellow council members and the community about what they're working on and what's going on. Also, this may be a point where council members they have a process of referring issues that we're not on the agenda before or on the work plan before. They can use this period of the meeting to make a referral on something they want to further study on, they want staff to work on, and that's where they get sort of council's agreement to move forward on a particular thing. So that happens during this section.
And also under this section, the city manager has his reports and referrals. And it's just an opportunity for him to report on issues, events, concerns pertinent to the council and community.
And then after that, you know what we do? We adjourn. Woo, we did it. How do you think it went?
I think that went well.
Okay, we didn't explode. I don't think we'll land in jail over that one. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for our very first episode. And we hope you found it entertaining and enjoyed us freaking out just a little bit, maybe even both. If you're watching this live, you can stay tuned on this channel for a full replay of the council meeting we just talked about, or you can watch it and any of our other programming on Ole TV3 on demand anytime on OleTV3.com.
And if you want to join us for a council meeting live and in person, we're here most Tuesdays at 6 p.m. at City Hall.
We'll save a seat for you.
And with that, we're adjourned.
I don't have to do any physical stunt work. You do.
Clearly, I'm a terrible stuntman, so.
Let's do it. Hit the button. Okay. Say it again, please.
Hey, that was so much better than the last time.
Yeah.